Yeah, good morning, all of you. So, today is another session of discussing about lab programs. Okay, so in the last class, we have discussed about the first five programs of your lab cycle, and today we are going to discuss about the remaining programs. Okay, so as I told you earlier, that we need to practice all these programs in any kind of IDE. Okay, preferably if you select Spider IDE, then it is very much useful for you. Okay, because Spider is a kind of an IDE where we can edit on our left hand side. Then we have an area where we can see the output also. Okay, which is called as a console. So in this regard, Python will be very useful for you. Okay, so so the next program we're going to discuss is so you can observe the problem statement here, the sixth program. So yesterday we have discussed all these things. Five programs we have discussed, which are very small programs. Okay, so we try to understand what is the problem statement and then how the program executed. All these things we have covered in the previous session. So let's observe the sixth program. Okay, so we have a problem statement here. So try to read the problem statement and try to understand it first. Generate a number between 1 to 10. Okay, and ask the user to guess the number and print a message based on whether they get it right or not. Okay, so what is the basic thing is here, the program will guess a number. That means randomly the program generates a number. Okay, now the program asks user to enter some number. Okay, so he'll randomly enter some number. If that number is equal to what is the random number which is generated by the program, if both are equal, then it will give the message called well guessed. Okay, or you can write it a message right. Otherwise, the program has to again ask the user to guess the number in between 1 to 10. Suppose when you observe the output, you can able to see first of all the program is asking the user to enter a number between 1 to 10. So guess a number between 1 to 10 until you get it right. Okay, the user entered 7. Okay, so the user has entered the number 7. Okay, after that, again the program is asking to enter another number. Why it is so? It is because the 7 is not the right number, or 7 is not the correct number that the program has generated. Okay, internally program generated a number. That number should be equal to the number which you entered. Okay, then only you will get a message called well guessed. Otherwise, you will not get the message. Okay, so it will continuously asking for you to enter the number in between 1 to 10. So in this particular output, you can observe that first of all I have entered 7. 7 is not the correct number which the program has generated. So that's why what I am doing, again I am entering some other number called 4. 4 is also not the correct number which the program has generated. Okay, so I thought it is 10, then I have entered 10, but still it is also the not right number the program has guessed. Okay, then I thought it is 6, then I entered 6. Okay, so it is also not the correct number. Then I thought it is 8, then when I entered 8, then it is correct. Okay, the program has generated the random number is 8. So you got the message saying that well guessed. Right now, so this is what the understanding of this program. Okay, analyzing of this program. So I already told you in the previous classes there is a function called randint. Okay, there is a function called randint. That function generates a random number in between a particular range. Okay, that function is there in the library called random. Random is a library which is there in Python. So that library contains a function called randint. Randint means nothing but random integer. Okay, so in bracket we need to give the values. What is the range in between the number has to be generated? So 1 to 10, because the program is generate a number between 1 to 10. So that's why we have written randint 1 to 10. Okay, so now I will try to understand the program first. First of all, I am importing a library called random. Okay, because randint is a function which is there in the random. Okay, random library. So that's why I am writing a statement import random. Okay, that is it there. Next we have target number comma guess number. Okay, target number comma guess number. So first of all, this target number is nothing but random.randint of 1 to 10, because that is the number should be generated by the computer. Okay, ma? So now this guess number is a some variable, okay, which I am taking it as a 0. Okay, so both the variables can be written in a single statement in Python like this. Okay, you try to observe the statement. I am using two variables here. Two variables can be directly given like this. Okay, by using an equal to symbol, that we can assign two values like this. Okay, it is like a comma b is equal to 10 comma 12. So what is the meaning of this statement is a is equal to 10, b is equal to 12. That is the meaning of that statement. Okay, so which is especially we can use this kind of thing in Python only. Okay, ma? So a comma b is equal to 10 comma 12 means a is equal to 10, b is equal to 12. Similarly here, target number is a variable, guess number is also a variable. So guess number I am taking it as a 0. Initially it is 0. Then what is the target number? Target number I am taking it as a random.randint of 1 comma 10. So because target number is nothing but the number which has to be generated by the computer. Okay, and guess number is equal to 0. Guess number is a normal variable. So initially I am assigning that it as a 0. Okay, now I need to write a while loop. While target number not equal to guess number. Okay, so target number not equal to guess number. What is guess number? Initially it is 0, but later on in the program, guess number is equal to input of guess a number between 1 to 10 until you get it right. Okay, so I am writing a statement, input statement, to get the input from the keyboard. So I'll get a message like this. Whenever this statement is executed, okay, so this statement is executed, I'll get a message like this. Then I'll enter some number, 7. That 7 will be stored in guess number. Okay, now while target number, what is the target number? Randomly the computer will generate a number between 1 to 10. If that number not equal to your guess number, until that you need to continue this loop. Okay, if at all target number is equal to guess number, then there is no need to continue the loop. You just print a message saying that well guessed. Okay, ma? So once again I am repeating the program. So random is a library which we need to import for this particular statement or for this particular program. Why? Because random library contains a function randint. So what is the purpose of a randint function is it will generate a number within a particular range. So that's why randint function is used. Okay, so we have used two variables here, target number comma guess number. What is the target number is the number which is generated by the computer. So that's why what we have written is target number is equal to random.randint of 1 comma 10. Okay, and guess number is a variable which I have taken. Initially I am assigning that guess number is equal to 0. Okay, next what I am doing is I am guessing a number. Okay, so guess number is equal to input of guess a number between 1 to 10 until you get it right. Okay, so I am writing some string or some statement there. So you will enter some number. That number will be converted into an integer. This number 7 will be converted into an integer, because by default all the values which are taken from the keyboard or from the file in Python are strings. So that's why we need to convert the string into integer. Okay. So now I am writing this total thing into your while loop. What I am writing the while loop statement? While target number not equal to guess number. Okay. Target number guess number equal అయ్యేదాకా మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతానే ఉండాలి. ఏమని అడుగుతా ఉండాలి? Guess a number between 1 to 10 until you get it right అని చెప్పి. If at all రెండు ఈక్వల్ అయినాయి అనుకోండి, if both the values are equal, then you should get a message saying that print well guessed. So that's why we need to write this statement well guessed. Okay. So I'll try to execute this in front of you. So already I have written some statements here, written some programs. Okay, so this is the program. Okay ma, so this is the program here. So I'll try to execute this. Okay, so it is saying that try to guess a number in between 1 to 10. I'll try to guess it 8. Okay, 8 is not the correct number, because the computer generated some number. That number is not 8. Okay, so I'll try to guess some other number. I thought it is 3. I'll give 3. It is also not the right number. Then I thought it is 9. So 9 is not also the right number. Now I think it is 4. Let me guess it is 4. No, not 4. Okay, it is not 4. Then I'll try to give it as 1. Okay, 1 is not also the right number. Okay, so already 5 attempts has been completed. Totally we should have 10 attempts. Why? Because the number should be in between 1 to 10, right? So obviously we have 10 attempts. So to keep on guessing that. Okay, if it is not correct, no problem. Okay, it will check for the other number. Okay, so our job is to keep on trying until that message has been displayed. What is that message? Well guessed message should be displayed. Okay, so 8 3 9 4 1 completed. I thought it is 7. Okay, 7 is also not the right number. Then I think it is 5. I'll give 5. Okay, 5. So when I give 5, what the message I got? Well guessed. Okay, so 5 is the number which is generated by this function random.randint. ఓకే, 5 అనే నెంబర్ అది గెస్ చేసింది అనమాట, అది జనరేట్ చేసింది. సో మనం ఎన్ని అటెంప్ట్స్ తీసుకున్నామో ఇది గెస్ చేయడానికి? నియర్లీ 7th అటెంప్ట్లో మనం ఇది గెస్ చేసాము. ఓకే, సో ఎన్ని అటెంప్ట్లో గెస్ చేసాం అనేది నాట్ ఎ ప్రాబ్లం, బికాస్ అల్టిమేట్లీ వీ నీడ్ టు షో ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ సచ్ ఎ వే దాట్ until and unless that number is correct, you keep on guessing the number. Okay, so this is a kind of a program we can write here. Next. Okay, so next program is 7th program. So 7th program, you try to understand the problem statement. Write a program that asks the user for 2 numbers. Okay, and print close if the numbers are within 0.001 of each other and not close otherwise. అంటే ఏంటంటే ఇది 2 numbers గెస్ చేయండి మీరు. సారీ, 2 numbers మీరు తీసుకోండి ప్రోగ్రామ్ ద్వారా. ఆ 2 numbers ఎలాంటి numbers అయి ఉండాలి? వాటి మధ్య డిఫరెన్స్ ఎంత అయి ఉండాలి? 0.001. ఓకే, ఆర్ అంతకన్నా తక్కువ అయి ఉండాలి. ఓకేనా? సో దెన్ యూ ప్రింట్ ఏ స్టేట్మెంట్ క్లోజ్, వెరీ క్లోజ్, దోస్ 2 numbers ఆర్ వెరీ క్లోజ్ అని చెప్పి ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి. అదర్వైజ్ నాట్ క్లోజ్. ఓకే, అదర్వైజ్ సింప్లీ యూ ప్రింట్ ఎ మెసేజ్ సేయింగ్ దట్ నాట్ క్లోజ్. ఓకే, సో హోప్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్. సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ విల్ టేక్ 2 numbers. ఓకే, 2 numbers కూడా మనం ఫ్లోట్లో తీసుకుంటాము. Float of input enter number 1, float of input number 2. Both numbers will be stored in A and B. So we have to write this statement ABS. ABS means absolute. Okay, so the difference between these two numbers should be less than or equal to 0.001. So absolute value of a minus b should be less than equal to 0.001. Then what should the message you print? You print it is a very close, else not close. Okay, so very simple program. Okay, so hope you understood. Only thing is the difference between A and B should be less than 0.001. Then we can say that both the numbers are very close. Otherwise, we can simply say that numbers are not close. Okay. So this program can also be written in another format. Okay. So program 2. The same program can be written in some other format. Here I am taking two numbers in num1 and num2. num1 and num2. What is the logic we have written is, if num1 0.01 add cheste num1 ki adi num2 ayindi anukondi, we can say that both the numbers are very very close. Otherwise number 2 ki 0.01 add cheste number 1 ravali. Okay, number 1 ki 0.01 add cheste number 2 ravali. Or otherwise number 2 ki 0.01 యాడ్ చేస్తే number 1 రావాలి. అప్పుడు రెండు మనం క్లోజ్ అని చెప్తాం. ఓకే, అలా రాలేని పక్షంలో we can say that not close. Okay ma? So clearly I am explaining it in Telugu so that you can understand. Okay, so the thing is, if first number when you add 0.01 you will get number 2. In that case, it is very close. We can say it is very close. Okay, both the numbers are very close. Otherwise, if number 2, okay, if we add 0.01 to number 2, you should get number 1. Okay, then only we can say that both the numbers are very close. Otherwise, if at all these two things are not happening, then we can say that numbers are not close. Okay, so here is the output we are using. See here, number 1 15.01, number 2 is 15.02. Both numbers are very close, only the 0.1 difference is there. So that's why we can say that both numbers are very close. Okay, so this is how we can write this program. Okay, so what is the program intention is, if we have to choose two numbers in such a way that the difference between both numbers should be less than 0.01. Okay, so this can be written in two formats. Either we can use absolute function, the difference between the two numbers, and if you find out the absolute ABS is a function, so which will find out the absolute value, that means either a positive or negative value, which is less than between 0.01, we can say that numbers are close. Otherwise we can simply say that numbers are not close. Okay, next program 8. Okay, so okay, here is some different program. It's based on strings concept. So write a program that asks the user to enter a word and print out whether that word contains any vowels. Okay, so what is the program is, the program should be written in such a way that first of all the program has to ask us to enter a word. Okay, so we'll enter some word. If that word contains vowels, what are the vowels? A, E, I, O, U, whether it is in small letters or whether it is in capital letters. Okay, so A, E, I, O, U is the vowels. If these particular letters exist in that particular word, whatever the word we have entered, then we have to print a message saying that that word contains a vowel. Otherwise you print a message saying that that word doesn't contain any vowels. Okay, so you can observe here. First of all you try to observe the output, then we'll try to follow the program. First of all I have entered the word called fly, F-L-Y, fly. So fly doesn't contain any vowels because A, E, I, O, U are the vowels. Those vowels are not there in this word. So what the message I should get? I should get a message saying that word doesn't contain vowels. Next I have tried with a different word, madam, M-A-D-A-M, madam. So now M-A, A is a vowel, okay, D is not a vowel, A is again vowel, M is not a vowel. So vowel contains in this particular word. So I should get a message saying that this word contains a vowel. Okay, so this is how we need to get the output. So for that, what I have written the program is word is equal to, first of all I am using a variable word is equal to input of enter the word. Okay, so I'll enter some word. Now I am using a vowel. Vowel means a variable. Vowel variable is equal to, what are the possible vowels are exist in the in alphabets are A, E, I, O, U. Okay, small letters and capital letters, A, E, I, O, U. Both I am taking it as a string, a big string which contains all these vowels, small letters A, E, I, O, U and capital letters A, E, I, O, U. Okay, now I am using a flag variable which is 0. Okay, now I am writing a for loop. For I in vowel, okay, for I in vowel, that means what is I? I value in the sense A, E, I, O, U. Suppose A is the first value. Okay, so here vowels lo A anedi first value. ఇప్పుడు ఇది A అనేది ఫర్ లూప్ మనం చెక్ చేసుకొని ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ రాస్తున్నాం మనం. ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ఏంటి? అగైన్ దట్ ఏ అనేది వర్డ్లో ఉందా లేదా. ఐ ఇన్ అనే ఒక మెంబర్షిప్ ఆపరేటర్, ఇది ఇన్ నాట్ ఇన్ అని చెప్పి రెండు మెంబర్షిప్ ఆపరేటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో దోస్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ హియర్. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ ఇన్ దట్ వర్డ్ అంటే ఏ అనేది ఆర్ ఏఈఐఓయులో ఏదో ఒక లెటర్ వర్డ్లో ఉందనుకోండి. వర్డ్ అంటే ఏంటి? వర్డ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద వర్డ్ వీఆర్ ఎంటరింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద కీబోర్డ్. ఉంటే గనక ఫ్లాగ్ అనే వేరియబుల్ని 1 చేసుకొని బ్రేక్ అయిపోండి. ఓకే, లేకపోతే వీ నీడ్ టు కంటిన్యూ దిస్ ప్రాసెస్ అంటిల్ all the letters of particular vowels and all the letters of words are checked. So that's why we have written the for loop here. For loop ఎందుకు రాసాము అంటే ప్రతి లెటర్, ఓవెల్లో ఉన్న ప్రతి లెటర్ అలాగే వర్డ్లో ఉన్న ప్రతి లెటర్తో మ్యాచ్ అవుతుందా లేదా అని చెక్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాము. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ దట్ మ్యాచెస్ దెన్ విల్ మేక్ ఇట్ ఫ్లాగ్ యాజ్ 1 అండ్ బ్రేక్ ద లూప్. ఓకే, సో వన్స్ మ్యాచ్ అయ్యింది అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? మ్యాచ్ అయ్యింది అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటమ్మా? సో ఫ్లాగ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అయిందంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? దట్ వర్డ్ కంటైన్స్ ఏ వోవెల్. ఓకే, అదర్వైజ్ మ్యాచ్ అవ్వలేదు అనుకోండి, అన్నీ చెక్ చేసాము బట్ మ్యాచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు, దెన్ వీ షుడ్ ప్రింట్ ఎ మెసేజ్ సేయింగ్ దట్ వర్డ్ డజంట్ కంటైన్స్ వోవెల్. ఓకే, సో వర్డ్ డజంట్ కంటైన్స్ ద వోవెల్. సో that is a thing we need to use here. Next one is 9th program. So this one is somewhat tricky, so we need to understand each and every line of this particular program. The thing is there is a huge statement ikkada chala rasundi, but I'll try to summarize with what is the basic thing that we have in that problem statement is suppose ఇది ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూడండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నుంచి ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చాడు ABCDE. Okay, so let us take this ABCDE as a one string, and let us also take another string which contains ABCDE, which are in capital letters. Okay, so we have two strings here. One is ABCDE small letters, one is ABCDE capital letters. At the output end, what I need to get the output is first letters of these two will be combined. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E. Like that we need to get the answer. So here this is the output. Okay, so already he has given some example. So according to this example we need to code it. Okay, so first of all what the thing is, program lo em cheptunadante, first of all we need to take two strings from the of same length. Okay, rendu strings తీసుకోండి, రెండింటికి కూడా సేమ్ లెంత్ ఉండేట్టుగా చూసుకోండి. నెక్స్ట్, if both the strings are of same length, then you perform this operation, that means alternative characters ni print cheyadam. But the thing is ikkada em antaramante we are printing the alternative characters of each and every string. Okay, A is combined with this particular A, again B is combined with this particular B, like that we need to print the things, print the both strings. If at all the string length are not equal, we can get a message saying that string length are not matching. Okay, no need to perform anything when the length of the strings are not matching. Okay, so you can observe the output here. So string 1 I have taken Ravi, R-A-V-I. String 2 I have taken Teja, T-E-J-A. What is the output I should get? R-T-A-E-V-J-I-A. Okay, అందులో ఒక లెటర్ ఇందులో ఒక లెటర్, ఈ రెండింటిని కంబైన్ చేయడం, అలాగే నెక్స్ట్ లెటర్స్, అలాగే నెక్స్ట్ లెటర్స్, లైక్ దట్ వీ నీడ్ టు కంబైన్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. సో వీ షుడ్ గెట్ ఏ అవుట్పుట్ ఇన్ దిస్ ఫ్యాషన్. ఓకే, సో లెట్ us try to understand the program, how the program will be written. Okay, so S1 is equal to input of string 1. So we'll enter some string that will be stored in S1. Second time we'll enter some string that will be stored in S2. Okay, and we will take an output string, అంటే ఈ రెండింటిని స్టోర్ చేయడానికి ఇంకో వేరియబుల్ కావాలి కదా, సో దాన్ని మనం అవుట్పుట్ అని తీసుకున్నాం. అవుట్పుట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు స్పేస్, అంటే ప్రజెంట్ అయితే దాంట్లో ఏం స్టోర్ చేయట్లేదు. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎంప్టీ. Now we'll take two variables I, J. I ఏమో ఫస్ట్ స్ట్రింగ్కి, J ఏమో సెకండ్ స్ట్రింగ్కి, రెండింటిని కూడా ఫస్ట్ 0కి ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేసుకున్నాను. సో I, J is equal to 0, 0. Now what I need to do is, if first of all we should check the length of the both strings. If length of S1 not equal to length of S2, what is S1? String 1. What is S2? String 2. If both the lengths are not equal, then I should print a message saying that length doesn't match. Lengths equal ga levu ani cheppi message print chestam. Else, if at all this is not true, that means what? Rendu lengths equal ane kada artham. Both lengths are equal. Okay, so when both the length of the strings are equal, then I need to perform the operation. Okay, what is the operation I am performing? I have to traverse from first letter నుంచి లాస్ట్ లెటర్ దాకా వెళ్ళాలి. ఓకే, అలాగే సెకండ్ స్ట్రింగ్లో కూడా ఫస్ట్ లెటర్ నుంచి లాస్ట్ లెటర్ దాకా వెళ్ళాలి. వెళ్తూ ఏం చేయాలి? ఇందులో ఉన్న ఫస్ట్ లెటర్ని ఇందులో ఉన్న ఫస్ట్ లెటర్తో కంబైన్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో వైల్ లూప్ ఒకటి రాసుకున్నాను. ఈ లూప్ ఎప్పటిదాకా రిపీట్ అవ్వాలి? వైల్ I less than లెంత్ ఆఫ్ S1. ఓకే, అంటే ఈ టోటల్ లెంత్ దాకా. అలాగే J less than లెంత్ ఆఫ్ S2, the total length of the S2. Then ట్రూ అయితే కనుక అవుట్పుట్లోకి ఏం రావాలి? S1 of I plus S2 of J. What is S1 of I? S1 of I అంటే ఏంటి? S1 of 0 ఫస్ట్, I వాల్యూ 0 కదా, S1 of 0. What is S1 of 0? R. ఓకే, అంటే స్ట్రింగ్లో కూడా ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ క్యారెక్టర్ని మనం ఇండెక్స్తో స్టోర్ చేస్తాము అని చెప్పాను నేను స్ట్రింగ్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్పినప్పుడు. సో కాబట్టి S1 of 0 is R. అలాగే S2 of 0 ఏంటి? T. ఈ రెండింటిని కూడా కలపాలంటే ఎలా కలపాలి? ప్లస్ సింబల్ యూజ్ చేయాలి, బికాస్ ప్లస్ ఈజ్ ద కంకాటినేషన్ సింబల్ విచ్ ఈస్ యూజ్డ్ బిట్వీన్ ద స్ట్రింగ్స్. వెన్ వీ రిటర్న్ S1 of I plus S2 of J. Okay, so R and T will be combined, RT. That RT will be stored in this particular loop, output variable. Now we need to move on to the next letter. Okay, next letter move అవ్వాలంటే I వాల్యూ పెంచాలిగా, I is equal to I plus 1. అలాగే J కూడా పెంచాలిగా, J is equal to J plus 1. Okay, so now I value has been increased to next number, J value also increased to the next number. Now again we need to check the while loop. Okay, now the second time S1 of 1, S2 of 1. What is S1 of 1? A. S2 of 1, E. So AE should be combined. So RT should be combined first and then AE should be combined. Okay, again I value is incremented, J value is incremented, like that the total loop has to be repeated until it completed all the letters. Okay, when it completes all the letters, then this loop condition falls and come out of the loop. Okay, so while you come out of the loop, we stored our output in output variable. Okay, so simply print that output variable, we'll get the message. Okay, so this is also I have written here. So I'll try to show with some other example. Okay, so this is the code. When you want to execute this, so string 1, this time I am trying to give block, block, block. How many letters we have? 5 letters. Now it will ask you to enter the second string. I am writing in a chain, CHAIN, blockchain. First word is block, second word is chain. Both the lengths are equal, right? Both the word contains 5 letters. When you click on enter, both the letters will be combinedly printed. So first 2 letters of these BC, again LH, OA, CI, KN. Okay, ma. So now you try to execute the same program and try to give it different lengths of strings. Then what it will execute is, we'll just check. So this time I am giving some madam, then again KRI, okay, something. First word contains 5 letters, second word contains only 3 letters. When you try to click on enter, you will get a message saying that length doesn't match. Okay, so this is how we need to write a program for printing the alternative characters from 2 strings. We call it as an alternative characters. With name ante printing the alternative characters of a 2 strings. Next, the last program for this session is program 10. Okay, it's a very simple program. Generally మనం ఒక నెంబర్ ఎంటర్ చేసినప్పుడు అది మనకి రూపీస్ లాగా రావాలి, అంటే కామాస్ రావాలి మధ్యలో. సపోజ్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద నెంబర్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఎంటర్డ్ 1 lakh. How that 1 lakh is represented is comma. After 1 there should be a comma, then again 3 numbers, then again comma, then again 3 numbers. So this is nothing but we call it as a thousands place. Thousands place tarvata comma ravali. Okay, generally what the program understanding is, for every 3 consecutive numbers you should get a comma. Okay, saying that the thousands places lo manaki comma ravali. So we should get a comma after every thousands place. So when you enter 1000, you will get comma after 1, then after 3 zeros. Similarly, when you have this 1 lakh, so 10 lakhs I think here. Okay, so 10 lakhs, then you should get a number, you should get a comma after every 3 numbers. Okay, ma. So for doing this program, there is only one statement for doing this program. Okay, single statement lo program ayipotundi, because Python has a special kind of thing for representing these kind of numbers. Okay, so first of all I am taking number is equal to input of enter large number. So I'll take a number from the keyboard. After that what I am doing is I have to insert comma in between the 1000 places, right? So to do this we have a special kind of a operator with that is the special kind of a thing called combining these 3 operators at a time. Okay, what is the operators? First of all we need to give a bracket, flower bracket, then colon, then comma. I should insert comma in between the numbers, right? So that is should be given. Then after that again close the flower brackets. Okay, that should be in the double quotations, and dot format. Okay, this is a function which can be used to find the format. That means wherever this particular format has to be applied, that is the format method. Okay, మనకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటి? కామా కావాలి. ఎక్కడెక్కడ కావాలి? 1000 ప్లేసెస్లో కావాలి. మనం దాన్ని ఇక్కడ రాసాము. బట్ ఇదంతా దేని మీదకి అప్లై చేయాలి? నంబర్ మీదకి అప్లై చేయాలి. సో నంబర్ మీద అప్లై చేయాలి అంటే డాట్ ఫార్మాట్ అనే ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేసి బ్రాకెట్లో నెంబర్. What is this number? Is nothing but input number what we have taken from the keyboard. Okay, so when you enter this, simply you will get a message like this. Number enter చేసిన తర్వాత for every thousands place we will get a comma. Okay, so that is the programs. Totally we have 35 programs in Python. So almost we have completed 10 programs. So my sincere request is to practice all these programs. Even though there are very small programs, we need to practice it. Okay, not only these programs, we have n number of programs like this which are already explained while I am explaining the concept. Those also you need to practice. Until and unless you practice, you don't understand the syntaxes. Okay, so which is a very easy to use syntax. So no, nothing. There is huge like C programming lo laga maniki pedda syntaxes emi levu. Each and everything will be implemented with a small lines of code, because Python contains so many different library functions. With the help of these library functions, we can do much more things. So that's why I am sincerely requesting you or advising you to daily practice these lab programs. Okay. First of all, you practice these 10 programs, then we'll look into the other programs. Right? So thank you.